You are now tuned in with your favorite dark-skinned friend with a beard.
Yes, sir, Ski. Yes. Welcome back, man. Happy Thursday. And you have now tuned into another reaction video with your favorite dark skinned friend with a beard, Unity. Now, this video is going to be coming to us from, who is this from? Celeb Live 1, at Celeb Live 1. Apparently, this one is talking about how Michael B. Jordan is exposing the reasons why he left Lori Harvey when they broke up. A lot of people didn't understand why, but apparently, guess who is the culprit to break it up once again? Mr. Diddy himself. He ain't even out right now. He still is having impacts on every content subject matter that is on the internet. So we're gonna go and tap in and see what Mr. Michael B. Jordan has to say on the reasons why he left Miss Lori Harvey. And was there a secret baby involved in the mix of this situation? Yeah, man, it's a lot of things to uncover. So make sure y'all press that like button, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and make sure you hit them hype stars if you so they know that you messing with the content. You feel me? Appreciate each and every one of y'all. I just checked my thing. I got 275 subscribers right now, which means that we done got 75 subscribers in the last 10 to 12 days. So that means that y'all are sharing and telling other people about it. And I appreciate you for that. You know what I mean? So that's the only way we're going to grow. Teamwork make the dream work. So I thank each and every one of y'all from the bottom of my heart. All right, let me get this screen together, because I don't want to get into the 5-minute mark and we still have not started the video. One of my subscribers, gave me a heads up and was like, we've been here 5 minutes already and the video ain't even started. So my bad. I just be wanting to say what's up to y'all. Make sure everything is lined up ahead of time, Okay. So I'm getting the screen together for you. There we go. Now you can see what I see. As you can see, I got a million things open right now. Twitch creator camp. I'll come back to that later. Learning a little bit of everything, so that way when it get time to execute, I know what the hell I'm doing. Anyways, here we go, man. Make sure y'all put y'all likes, press that like button, put y'all comments down, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, let's get it started. Lori Harvey's secret baby with Diddy. Oh, man. Michael B. Jordan exposes why he left her. Let's go. Hold on. You can't go until they got the right video on. Okay. Oh. And shh. Gotta make sure that's on mute because we don't want no echo. All right, let's get it.
That footage ended up going to 50 Cent and his production company, and it's kind of the centerpiece.
Sold to them.
Yes, was the centerpiece of the documentary. So watch this particular scene, because this is where a lot of people feel Diddy really screwed over someone that he should be very, very thankful.
It started with a whisper no one wanted to believe, that the clean, polished breakup between Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey wasn't mutual at all, but a hit job orchestrated by Diddy himself. We heard the rumor first in the corners of Reddit threads and clubhouse rooms that always seemed to know too much, and the more we looked, the more it started to fit. Because if there's one thing the last few months have proven, it's that Diddy doesn't lose quietly. And when his empire started to shake under Cassie's lawsuit, the first thing he did, allegedly, was reach for his vault. Those importing for decades. People now call freak-off footage, the kind that could destroy careers.
Her mother is 54 years old. Her
It's crazy. Diddy already in the mix of all this.
mother is 5 years older.
So picture this. It's
All right, we
early
lined up.
2022. Michael B. Jordan is riding high on Creed 3, fresh from the Vanity Fair Oscars after party with Lori on his arm. They're Hollywood's power couple, all glowing smiles and perfect lighting. Then, out of nowhere, radio silence. Lori deletes every trace of him from her socials. Michael wipes his page clean, like none of it ever happened. By the weekend, they've unfollowed each other, and Steve Harvey's making cryptic comments about being Team Lori 1,000%. At the time, we thought, all right, another celebrity breakup. He wanted to settle, she wanted freedom. But now, insiders are saying that behind that PR spin was a private message from Diddy that made Michael's world collapse overnight. Allegedly, Diddy sent him a tape. Graphic,
Oh, man.
humiliating, impossible to unsee, featuring Lori, filmed back when she was part of his inner circle.
Look, man. These Diddy tapes, these freak off tapes, man, is causing a lot of destruction and dissension in between the industry right now. Like this is the reason why a lot of people turned their back and disappeared out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? When it came to having his back. But could you imagine you being with your girl and all of a sudden Diddy sends you a tape of them straight violating her to the fullest? And it's like, what can you say? It's like, well, it was before me, but who wants to live with that imagery of their other person being taken advantage of in the most doggish ways by one of the most doggish men in the world? Damn, man.
Not for revenge, but to send a
I'll
warning.
be right back. I need some
That's the part people miss. This wasn't about jealousy, it was control.
Diddy really screwed up, and I'm not referring to his criminal trial, which has him sitting in prison right now.
I believe that this guy in this picture is me. I didn't realize how bad my hair loss was until I seen the transformation that it is now.
I was part of the Bosley procedure, and it's phenomenal. I have no complaints, no regrets about getting it.
After the procedure and my hair has grown back, I feel like it took like 10 years off my face.
I feel better, I look better, I have more confidence.
They've been doing this for over 50 years, and they're pros in the industry. They have a lot of flexibility with the
All right, we back.
But it has to do with something that happened right before he got arrested. If you've seen the Netflix documentary about Diddy, Diddy the Reckoning, which 50 Cent produced, there's some footage there that had never been seen before. This is a photographer that Diddy hired to follow him around and
Diddy, according to the whispers coming out of his own camp, believed Michael had been too close to Cassie years earlier, back when she was trying to escape. And with the FBI closing in, Cassie preparing to testify, and half of Hollywood turning its back on him, Diddy wanted to make sure no one in his past found their courage now. The man had always used leverage.
Petty. This is years later. Ain't nobody trying to get at Cassie right now, bro. You feel me? But because he had some type of dealings with trying to help her get out of a monstrous situation, this fool Diddy therefore goes and says, you know what? I can mess with any of your situations anytime that I want. I can put my hands on your lady when I want. And there we go.
To keep loyalty, properties, money, and yes, footage. We've heard it from ex-bodyguards, from assistants, from artists who said he recorded everything. And in Michael's case, he allegedly used that vault like a weapon, sending a tape of Lori in one of his so-called freak-off sessions straight to her new boyfriend. People who saw Michael courtside days later said he looked hollow, not heartbroken, haunted. Remember those pictures from the NBA Finals? Everyone else smiling, and he's just staring off into nothing. The same man who, weeks before, was posting about love and growth. Fans thought he was just nursing a breakup. But those who know him say something changed that night, that his silence wasn't about moving on. It was about protecting himself. Because once you've been dragged into Diddy's web, you don't speak unless you want your own secrets out there.
NBC News Live reports Sean Diddy Combs is facing new assault allegations. The LA Sheriff's Department.
See, I would have beat the hell out of Diddy. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody gonna send me no old footage of my lady doing some outrageous stuff after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're trying to make it seem like this is what's going on while me and her are together, that's just grounds for destruction, bro. Diddy is diabolical.
Says that it's investigating a report from an alleged victim in Florida. That alleged victim has identified himself as music producer Jonathan Hay in social media posts that have since been removed. A spokesperson for Combs has not responded to ABC News' request for comment.
And this is where it gets darker, because that alleged tape wasn't some random revenge clip. Insiders claim it was from 2019, around the time Lori was supposedly comforting Diddy after Kim Porter's tragic passing. The world thought it was an innocent friendship. She was seen with him in New York, Miami, Cabo, then Italy with her parents, Steve and Marjorie Harvey, smiling over lunch. Photos showed Diddy rubbing her stomach, whispering something, sparking pregnancy rumors that Lori's camp scrambled to shut down. She denied it all.
And Steve Harvey and them is even worse. What they doing letting their 22-year-old daughter prance around with a 49-year-old man? That's 27 years. 27-year difference, bro. Like, I'm sorry, that's damn near pedophilic, man. I'm sorry. I know she over 18, but bruh, she's 22 at that time. And Steve Harvey and Lori Harvey just sitting at the other table, like everything is just okay. Like, that's just normal behavior. When not just a few months before that, she was dating Diddy's son. Tupac said they get around.
Saying people needed to stop believing everything y'all read on a blog. But the timing, the body language, it all looks different now that Diddy's entire empire is being stripped apart for exactly these kinds of stories. What we're hearing now is that the Harveys knew more than they let on. Steve had been friends with Diddy for years, long before Lori became a household name. He even dined with him during that Italy trip. Fans were already calling him out back then, asking why he'd stay quiet about his 22-year-old daughter hanging around a 49-year-old mogul with a history like Diddy's. Steve brushed it off, focusing on his festivals, his talk show, his marriage to Marjorie. But people inside that circle say the Harveys weren't silent because they were clueless. They were silent because they were scared.
So you're not allowed, they don't want you to say nothing about what's really going on.
No, they wouldn't be quiet.
Jaguar Wright, who's been dragging the industry all year, said it straight. The Harveys knew what was going down. In her words, you don't sit at that table and not know. She accused them of playing the same Hollywood game everyone else did. Look away, protect the brand, keep the checks coming. It's harsh, but think about it. Steve's entire empire is built on morality, family advice, relationship books, sermons about faith and loyalty. What happens if it comes out that while he was preaching about respect, his daughter was being filmed in Diddy's sessions? What happens if the whispers about a private settlement or a handled pregnancy turn out to be true? That's not just a scandal, that's empire ending. Now remember, this was all pre-Cassie's lawsuit. Back then, Diddy still looked untouchable. He was throwing his legendary white parties, flaunting his relationships, sitting courtside himself.
All of this is allegedly, okay? Everything on this channel is allegedly, but let's just use some common sense, man. There's a lot of cover-ups going on, and Diddy's right there in the center of all of it. 2 + 2 = 4. Unless you one of the people that say 2 + 2 = 3, and then you just one of them weirdos that don't know how to accept, reality for what it is. Like, just saying. Oof.
But even then, cracks were showing. Former artists were already hinting at dark rooms, uncomfortable experiences, emails that referenced sacrifices. When Day 26 broke down on camera this year, talking about that cryptic message they got from him, people started connecting dots. It sounded crazy until you realized it matched what others had said for years, that those parties weren't just parties, that people were filmed, manipulated, and kept in line with footage they didn't know existed. So if Diddy really did have tapes of Lori, and his ex, Gina, confirmed she saw
Diddy had tapes of everybody.
I wish someone had shown me this table sooner, because look at this, $2,000.
of them on his phone, then sending one to Michael makes perfect sense in Diddy's twisted logic.
Let's talk about the filth that's starting to come out in the early days of the Diddy trial. This, of course, is P. Diddy. Surprise, surprise, he's a creep. Surprise, surprise, he's done horrible.
It wasn't just to destroy a relationship. It was to remind everyone watching that he still had power. Even now, from a Brooklyn jail cell, that's the image he wants to project. You can't erase me because I own your secrets. And that's the nightmare Michael walked into. He didn't just lose a girlfriend. He got trapped in someone else's cleanup job. He thought he was dating America's sweetheart, the woman who'd restored his image after years of being accused of only dating white women. Instead, he got dragged into a network of blackmail and silence. And And once it hit, the Harveys went into...
See, and that's crazy too, because it's true. A lot of people were giving Michael B. Jordan slack, saying that he only dated white girls or whatever, and that he didn't like black women and blah 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 blah. I remember there was a time when they used to say that about me, and I'd be like, nah, man. I was like, the black girls just wasn't giving me no play like that. But I've always loved my sisters. You know what I'm saying? So I completely understand where that comes from. Like, it'd be like, no, man, I like who like me. But shit, if the black girls were showing the love, then, you know, that's where he probably would have been. And so then he finally get with a sister. And then this is the drama that ensues. Not blaming it on her being black. But what I'm saying is y'all can't keep saying that about these black men, talking about they don't give their sisters a chance. Because clearly he did. And got his stuff world turned upside down because she was involved with Diddy before, and this nigga sent him a tape. Fellas, what you doing? You pulling up on Diddy? Pulling up, Diddy.
PR overdrive. Lori deleted him. Steve made his things happen speech. Within hours, the narrative was set. Young love, mutual respect, time to move on. Meanwhile, the real story was locked behind non-disclosure agreements and a video no one was supposed to see. People close to Michael say he never recovered from that humiliation. The man who used to light up interviews went dark, stopped smiling, kept his head down. Even his SNL monologue months later, the joke about his first public breakup, hit different when you knew what was behind it. He said he was already in Creed shape, so he'd learned a new language. The crowd laughed, but look again at the clip. There's a tension there, like someone trying to laugh off a memory.
Can't nobody rip the soul out of a man like a woman. You feel me? And the reason why he was so hurt is because he finally had let his guard down. And as soon as he let his guard down, what happened? The BS comes out of nowhere to just knock him out the park, man.
It still stings. And here's where the story loops back to Diddy's downfall.
Likely what's going to happen. But now there's an added element to this, an added element of drama. Diddy is going to speak. He has some things he wants to say to the judge, to the court, and he has actually filed a request with the judge that he can wear street clothes instead of his prison jumpsuit because he wants to look good for whatever it is.
Because now that Cassie's case opened the floodgates, everyone connected to him is scrambling. Artists are testifying, staff are flipping. And the whispers say Michael's name has come up more than once. Not as an accuser, but as someone who could confirm timelines that Diddy desperately wants buried. That's why the freak-off tape theory hit so hard. It wasn't random gossip. It was leverage, timed perfectly to keep another Hollywood star quiet. The irony is that Steve Harvey's silence back in 2019 looks almost prophetic now, when fans were calling him out. Where is Uncle Steve? Sad that her dad doesn't even care. He ignored it. Maybe he was protecting Lori. Maybe he was protecting himself. Because behind that wholesome family brand is a man who's fought off lawsuits, scandals, and accusations from his ex-wife that make him look anything but saintly. A man who knows exactly how damaging one secret video could be. And while all of this plays out, Lori's living like nothing happened. New boyfriend, new brand deals, talking about how she wants to be known for her accomplishments, not who she dates. It's smart. It's distance. But the timing of her re-emergence, right as Diddy's empire burns down, is suspicious. Almost like she's reclaiming the narrative before someone else does. Insiders are already saying she's terrified that her name will show up in one of the federal filings tied to Diddy's case. That somewhere, in one of those seized drives, her image might appear.
For the civil case, it's a much lower standard of a preponderance of the evidence, or in more layman's terms, more likely than not, the measurement we as attorneys typically use for that is 51%. And so for a civil case, you're just saying, hey, is there a 51% chance that Sean Combs allegedly committed these acts? If so, he would be liable. In the federal case, which was criminal, that was proof beyond reasonable doubt, where he was found guilty of those two counts you mentioned earlier, and is serving a 50-month sentence in Fort Dix.
So, where does that leave Michael? That's the million-dollar question. Some say he's sitting on evidence, waiting. Others think he just wants to forget. But those close to him say he's not done, that he's quietly aligning with people who want to bring the whole system down, not out of revenge, but out of self-protection. Because if he ever speaks and confirms that Diddy really sent him that footage, it won't just blow up Diddy. It'll expose the entire circle that kept quiet. from the Harveys to the handlers to the A-listers who pretended not to see. And maybe that's why we're hearing rumblings of a bigger story coming, the kind that connects the dots between Cassie, Lori, and the vault. Because if the freak-off tapes exist, and the raids on Diddy's mansion suggest they might, then the people who appeared in them are all potential witnesses. Some are scared, some are angry, and some, like Michael, have nothing left to lose. But that's the thing about this industry. Silence is survival until it isn't. And now that the walls are closing in on Diddy, people are realizing that protecting him might have been the worst move they ever made. Because when the footage surfaces, and it will, every smile, every red carpet moment, every mutual breakup will look like part of the cover-up. And the one question everyone's already asking is the one no one's answered yet. What did Michael B. Jordan really see that night? That's where the story turns. Because once you understand what was on that tape, you understand why no one, not Lori, not Steve, not even Hollywood's most bankable star, has dared.
I'm trying to tell you, Cat Williams said in the beginning of 2025 on that Shannon Sharp interview that everything that has been going on in the dark will be coming out in the light in 2025. And and in 2025, I'm talking about everything freaking came out, including stuff with Shannon Sharp. You feel me? So I just feel like this year here is going to be the stuff came out, and now a lot of people are going to be having to pay for the stuff that they were doing behind closed doors. It already said whatever happened in the dark come to the light. Here we go.
To speak. And what's coming next might finally explain why Diddy's empire isn't the only one about to fall.
Interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
And here's what still doesn't add up. If Diddy was trying to protect himself, why would he risk leaking something that could drag him down too? We started hearing that this wasn't just jealousy, it was leverage. Like a warning shot disguised as humiliation. Diddy, according to those who used to work in his circle, was terrified of losing control during the Cassie lawsuit buildup. He knew who had seen what, who could testify, and who had footage that might align with her story. Sending Michael that tape wasn't about breaking his heart. It was about sending a message to anyone even thinking about opening their mouth. Keep quiet or watch your world burn. It's the same playbook insiders say he's been running for decades. Control through fear, exposure as the ultimate leash. What's strange is how quickly everyone around that triangle, Lori, Michael, even Steve, locked arms in silence. No cryptic posts, no messy leaks, not even a denial. That's rare in Hollywood, where most celebrities will post a full essay just to clarify who unfollowed who. Insiders started whispering that something heavier was being managed behind the scenes, like an emergency cleanup ordered by people with money and reason to hide. According to one longtime publicist, the calls went out fast. Lock the archives, seal the devices, get everyone under NDA.
Can you be a travel advisor without quitting your 9 to 5? Actually, yes. We're Fora, the modern travel agency, and we are empowering anyone with a passion for travel to earn on the trips that they plan.
Once a video enters the Diddy ecosystem, it never really disappears. Every insider knows that. Those files, the so-called freak-off reels, have been used to ruin careers, maintain loyalty, and make sure nobody testifies. Then came the whispers about Lori's situation back in 2019. The photos from Cabo where Diddy was rubbing her stomach, the half-smile that looked more protective than romantic. At the time, it was written off as pregnancy gossip. But now, with what we know about Diddy's pattern of control and cover-ups, people are wondering if something was quietly handled. The timing fits too neatly. Months later, Lori re-emerged brand new, glowing, jet-setting, and by all appearances, unburdened. No trace of scandal, no change in her lifestyle, no accountability to explain why her name suddenly stopped.
So, did she go have a secret baby? Or did he have her handle that and get it taken care of so that nobody was asking questions? Like, that whole situation is just crazy altogether. I told you, she used to date his son. That'd be, oh my God, never mind.
Appearing next to Diddy's, it was like someone scrubbed the slate. Some insiders swear that's when a deal was struck. Hushed money, erased footage, and one bulletproof NDA.
Oh, God,
And if that really happened, Steve Harvey's silence starts to make sense. The man built a whole empire on morality and fatherly advice. The self-proclaimed relationship guru with a perfect family image. The last thing he could afford was his name, even glancing against Diddy's world of private tapes and freak-off allegations. Jaguar Wright has been the loudest voice pushing that angle, calling out the Harvey family for looking the other way. She said point blank that they knew exactly what kind of world Lori was walking into, that they were complicit by pretending not to see it. And the internet ate it up, because how does a father famous for preaching about standards just shrug off his daughter dating his 50-year-old industry friend? The math never worked. The deeper we dug, the darker the coincidences got. Diddy's old associates, Day 26, Aubrey O'Day, even Dawn Richard, started dropping stories that sound straight out of a horror film. Hidden cameras, cryptic messages, blackmail disguised as mentorship. Day 26 claimed they once received an email from Diddy filled with references to sacrifices, language that made them fear for their lives. And we can't forget Quay's story about waking up in a basement surrounded by cameras, calling it sacrificial. The pattern is almost ritualistic: record, control, exploit, and discard. So when rumors surface about a tape of Lori, it doesn't sound outlandish anymore. It sounds like the continuation of a system that's finally cracking under the weight of its own secrets. What nobody saw coming was how Michael B. Jordan's demeanor shifted afterward. He went from Hollywood's golden boy to visibly withdrawn. No scandals. But that look in his eyes said something broke behind the scenes. His appearance at that courtside game, frozen smile, hollow stare, was the opposite of his usual charm. The man who carried Creed's intensity suddenly looked like someone carrying a secret. Some fans thought it was heartbreak. But people close to him insist it was deeper, that he found out something that made him question everything about fame, loyalty, and how this business actually works. If he really did see that footage, it's not just about his relationship. It's about witnessing how powerful men weaponize privacy. It's wild how the dominoes line up. Cassie's lawsuit exposed Diddy's obsession with recording his private encounters, forcing partners to relive them, and keeping every tape locked in his vaults. She described one night when he made her watch a video she thought she'd deleted, reminding her he owned every part of her. Now think about Michael sitting somewhere, holding that same kind of evidence, knowing exactly what Diddy is capable of. The difference is that Michael isn't one of Diddy's proteges. He's an A-list actor with his own influence, which makes him unpredictable. That's why we're hearing that certain people have been working overtime to keep him focused on his career and away from microphones. Meanwhile, Diddy's empire is collapsing. Federal agents raided his LA and Miami homes last year, uncovering more than just party footage. Multiple lawsuits, dozens of witnesses, even ex-employees describing hidden rooms and coded messages. Yet somehow, certain circles still stay quiet. And we have to ask, why are the Harveys untouched by association? Steve's public statements are carefully sanitized. His family posts look picture perfect. And Lori keeps gliding through the spotlight like none of this touches her. But if even half of these whispers are true, the Harveys' silence could be the biggest performance of all.
The feelings that I have about the documentary, man, they were just old news, and they took a couple of with the footage from Puff.
Hey guys, just look at this. This seriously helped me out. 3 days ago, my rent was due
We're almost
$1,000.
finished with this video, man. Y'all make sure y'all press that like button.
At first,
from the days that's leading up him to get arrested, and the incidents with the people from the courts. You know, the two people from the courts. So it was nothing new.
There's also the timeline overlap that nobody wants to touch. Cassie, Lori, and Michael all orbiting the same man's sphere within a few short years. Same locations, same parties, even the same industry photographers. The overlap isn't coincidence. It's a map of who mattered to Diddy, who could be used, and who needed to be silenced. Some insiders claim Diddy kept tabs on Michael even after the breakup, watching him through mutual acquaintances, waiting to see if he'd talk. It's why we think that so-called amicable split was never really mutual. It was damage control. We've seen this pattern before. Diddy isolates, intimidates, and manipulates with precision. Cassie's lawyers described a network of loyalty so deep it blurred the line between friendship and fear. Even now, former friends are scrubbing photos, deleting mentions, pretending they were never close. And yet, Michael's name never appears in those circles, almost like he's been protected or hidden. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe someone knows that if he speaks, it's not just one man who goes down, it's everyone who helped him. Lately, with all these documentaries surfacing, the Channel 4 Eposes, the Netflix doc by 50 Cent, the Hulu deep dive, it's impossible not to notice the gaps. The scenes fade to black right before the Harvey connection. The narration skirts the mention of certain names, as if editors were told what not to touch. We've seen this before. The industry protects its chosen families. And if Diddy really had leverage over the Harveys, maybe that's why the coverage stopped short. Maybe that's why nobody in that dynasty has ever been subpoenaed, even though Lori was one of the last major public figures tied to him before the raids. Now we're hearing that Michael might not stay quiet forever. People close to him say he's furious at how the narrative flipped, that he was painted as the distant boyfriend while the real story was buried under PR spin. And apparently he's been keeping everything: texts, timelines, maybe even voice memos. There's talk that he's considering a documentary of his own, not about Diddy directly, but about the industry's obsession with image and silence. That could easily double as a confession without ever naming names. If that happens, Hollywood could implode from within. It's the silence that keeps haunting us.
And what's really going to be interesting is the parade of celebrities who we expect to be mentioned and or called into that courtroom. You know, people who we hadn't heard about prior, like Mike Myers, you know, Austin Powers, Mike Myers. Why is he getting called? Why is he on the witness list? That'll be fascinating. And then, of course, there are the no-name,
They all like the party.
women who are going to have to find every ounce of courage they have.
The way Lori reinvented herself overnight. The way Steve smiles through interviews as if none of this touches him. The way Diddy's lawyers keep calling every allegation a media circus. The same circus that now has over 100 accusers. Former employees, artists, assistants. People who say they all saw too much. And yet none of them mention Lori or Michael directly. Almost like that file is sealed under a separate code name. Almost like the real story hasn't even started. And maybe that's the point. Maybe this entire saga, the breakup, the tape, the timing, wasn't just about a relationship. It was about control. Diddy controlled Cassie through fear, Lori through silence, and Michael through humiliation. And in the middle of it all stands the Harvey family, pristine on the surface, possibly entangled underneath. If Michael ever talks, if even one clip leaks from that so-called archive, it won't just destroy reputations. It'll expose how Hollywood's power couples are built on traded secrets and quiet settlements. So here we are, watching the smoke thicken, wondering who's next to break their silence. Because when those files finally surface, and they will, what happens to the people who smiled through it? What happens when the image cracks? We're waiting for the moment the truth slips through the seams. Until then, keep your eyes open and your ears ready. Because this story isn't finished. Not by a long shot. What would you do if you were sitting on proof that could burn an empire? Think about that, and we'll see you in the next one.
Do you need to borrow up to $5,000?
Well, what y'all think, man? Honestly, I just wouldn't be involved in any of them circles that got to do with Hollywood. Like, even in trying to pursue being famous and all these other situations, there's just certain people that just aren't worth your soul being destroyed over. And a lot of these people didn't know that Diddy was the orchestrator of destruction. He covered destruction with a facade of partying and living it up. You know what I'm saying? When all along he was setting people up for the okie doke, recording every encounter that could be considered vulnerable or compromising. And like, yeah, it's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. But sad thing is he ain't the only one. There's so many other people that just aren't saying anything because they don't want to be in the same situation that he's in right now, you know. But I don't know. It's kind of it was kind of fishy how fast Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey just broke up out of nowhere. But if that's true that Diddy sent him a video of them, you know, dogging Lori out, I mean, I wouldn't want to stay around either. Shoot, y'all think he wrong for ditching the relationship over a video if that's what really happened? Or was he smart to get away from it so that way he don't have to be entangled in this web of craziness that's going on right now? You know what I mean? Anyways, y'all put it in the comment what y'all think. I appreciate y'all logging in. Y'all know what time it is. Merch time. Yeah. Y'all see it? You see that big old cloud over the top of my head right there behind me? We got it on t-shirts as well. That's the ADED City, man. Cloud graphic. You feel me? He is our mascot. I got this in a bunch of different colorways. You see it got the nice little patch on the back. And then it got the, you know, the ADED patch right there on the sleeves of this one right here. All kind of different colors, you know. Put it in the front so you can see how it look on the front in that color. Yeah. I actually have this shirt in white and in black. The colors they came out really vibrant. Everything looks really good on these shirts, man. So when you get a chance, go ahead and check out the website. Once again, all day, every day, LLC.net. Yeah, it's that cloud graphic right there, though. That's for the adults, but this is a whole collection specifically for that. You know, we got onesies for the babies. You see it. Got the cloud on the front, on the back. What it say? ADED, all day, every day. You know what it is. Boom, 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 boom. What else? Bikinis, dresses, socks, t-shirts for the youngins, backpacks. That's the staple tee right there for the cloud graphic. Bomber jackets, hats, hoodies, polos, sweatshirts, crew necks. You know what I'm saying? All types of stuff, man. I put a lot of work into this brand. Put a lot of work into these designs. I created every single design on this page. So, you know, teamwork make the dream work. Y'all join the ADED fam and grab you a piece of gear. You know what I'm saying? There are discount codes available. So just hit me in the comments. Let me know, and I'll send you the discount code for you to get at least 10 to 20% off, you know, right off the bat. So, yeah, that's that. Let me go ahead and turn that off. Won't.
You are now tuned in with your favorite dark-skinned friend with a beard.
That part. Once again, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, and hit the hype stars on YouTube. Let them know that you messing with your boy. Appreciate y'all, man. Till the next video. You're